Looking at his tired face and his scared kids, I realized something profound. My name is Arthur. 10 years ago, I walked away from society and built a cabin high in the frozen mountains. No internet, no phones, no people, just the wind and the cold. I thought I was completely alone, and that is exactly what I wanted. But this winter the snow melted faster than usual, revealing something deep inside a rocky cave near my cabin. A strange metallic box. The box was locked and covered in rust. I carried it back to my cabin and used a heavy hammer to smash the lock open. Inside was not gold or old tools. It was a modern black electronic device with a small screen. It looked like a military radio. There was no cell service for 50 miles, but suddenly the screen lit up with bright green text. It said, "Protocol activated. Connecting to user Arthur." My hands began to shake. Nobody knew I was up here. Nobody even knew I was still alive. Suddenly the device let out a loud piercing beep that echoed through the quiet cabin. A mechanical voice started counting down from 60, 59, 58. I stared at it terrified. The countdown hit 0 and the room went dead silent. I held my breath staring at the screen. Then a static noise filled the cabin, followed by a human voice. It was a clear, frantic voice of a young woman. "Arthur, if you can hear this, you need to listen carefully," she whispered. "We know you hid in the mountains to escape the past, but they found you. They are coming up the trail right now. You have less than 10 minutes. The radio went completely dead. I stood frozen in the middle of my cabin. Who was she? How did she know my name and my past? I ran to the window and looked out into the foggy mountain trails. The forest was dark and silent, but then I saw it. A single bright flashlight beam cutting through the trees about a mile down the mountain. Then another one appeared, and another. 3 people were moving fast toward my cabin. I had no weapons and no way to call for help. For 10 years I ran away from my problems, thinking isolation would keep me safe. But the world had finally caught up to me. I had to make a choice. Run deeper into the freezing peaks, or stand and face whatever was coming. Facing the shadows of the past. The footsteps grew louder outside my door, crunching against the heavy snow. I did not run. I grabbed my old iron poker from the fireplace and stood in the center of the room. The door handle clicked. It slowly turned and the heavy wooden door pushed open. 3 figures stepped into the warm light of my cabin. They pulled back their hoods. I dropped my weapon in absolute shock. It was not enemies. It was my younger brother and his 2 children. He looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, "We finally found you." The radio was a recording he left in the cave years ago, hoping I would find it if I ever went near it. He had spent a decade searching for me because he never gave up hope. He needed my help to protect his family from a real crisis back in the city. Looking at his tired face and his scared kids, I realized something profound. Hiding from the world does not cure your pain. It just makes you numb. True safety is not isolation. True safety is the people who love you enough to climb a mountain just to bring you home. I packed my bags, extinguished the fire, and walked down the mountain with them. My isolation was finally over.
Follow for more content.